Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle. It's Monday the 28th of October 2024. I hope you are keeping well and prepared for the week, whatever the time of day or even what day it is when you play this puzzle. It's Monday morning. I've got to go out to work today, but I don't have to do this for much longer. In fact, this is my only day of this week where I have to go outside to work. So there'll be other more regular games of Sudoku throughout the week. But today, this might be the only game, but let's see. I'll try and play another game later if I can. What's going on? Mexico is struggling with deciding what to do about vaping. It's not an easy problem because we don't really know the long-term effects of vaping, although it has been around for quite some time now, and there hasn't been any evidence that is any concrete evidence to say that it's a really, really terrible thing compared to what it's trying to replace. The problem is, of course, that we don't know that it's safe. It is not safe, actually. It certainly, vaping has definitely some problems for health, but is it better than smoking? According to the independent evidence, it seems to be. Now, of course, the thing is that people are so worried about is independent evidence really independent nowadays? We've seen so much meddling in the past in independent research from big companies, like the tobacco companies previously and the oil companies currently and stuff like that. So it's difficult to know whether makers of e-cigs, as they're referred to, are really whether or not they are really meddling in the research. But assuming that they're not, because there is quite a lot of research being done, it would seem that vaping is definitely safer than smoking. So if you are trying to give up smoking, vaping seems like a good idea. The problem is that vaping is marketed in such a way as to make it attractive to kids who have never smoked before, but suddenly say, I know what, I'll start a new thing. Let's try that. Again, you might argue it's better than... Kids always used to take up smoking cigarettes, right, because it looked cool. If they take up vaping because it looks cool, that's kind of less terrible. Anyway, I mention this because Mexico is deciding whether or not to put it as into their constitution, make vaping totally illegal. They've had some bans and some attempts before, but not exactly. It hasn't exactly been successful. So now they're discussing whether or not to make the thing permanently unavailable. And I don't know. I don't think that that's such a great idea, because human beings will do things like smoke unless you... and it's very difficult to make it totally illegal, make things disappear. I mean, they've made drugs illegal. I mean, drugs have been illegal for how many years, and people still do them. I mean, hard drugs rather than... Well, of course, tobacco is one of the hardest drugs, come to think about it. Let's get on with the game of Sudoku, shall we? So this is a game for newcomers to the game. Beginner level puzzle, really. We've got 9 squares in each row across, we've got 9 squares in each column down, and we've got 9 squares in these smaller sections that you can see highlighted in black lines. Okay, now you'll see numbers in the boxes. Our objective is to fill up the boxes, each of these boxes, with 1 digit. The lowest number is 1, the highest number is 9, and we use logic to find the solution to the game. We use logic, you say. Yes, I say. Look at this block here. I refer to a block, and I also use the verb block, which can be a bit confusing, I know, but anyway. We've got 7 and 4 here. We've got to find all of the other numbers. Now, I happen to know that we can... Oh, I happen to see that we can get a 9 in this block here. I almost lost it. We can definitely get a 9 in here. Really, you say? Yes, I say. Okay, prove it then. Okay, I will. We've got a 9 in these squares that are highlighted now in blue, and because a number can appear in its row, column or block once only, it means that these 3 squares can't be a 9 because we have a 9 in this column already. We have a 9 up here, and that stops any other squares in this column from being a 9. So these 3 can't be 9 because of this, these 2 can't be 9 because of this, and we actually have a 9 across here which also blocks, well, these 2 which are already blocked because of this and this, but also in addition this block here. And so now there's only one empty square, and so we see that the 9 has to go there, and we just need to understand that technique to be able to go on and finish the game, really. So we've got 9 blocking all the way across here, so neither of these 2 squares can be 9. We've got 9 blocking down here, and again none of these squares can be 9, and it means that this has to be a 9, like so. So you can hear me use the term blocking, as I say, which means forbidding that digit from becoming, from going there rather. We have 4 blocking across here and 4 across here, so that means this has to be a 4 up there. 4 blocking down here and 4 across there, which means 4 is in that square there. 3 blocks across this way, 3 blocks across this way, and 3 blocks down here. That puts 3 into that square. 4 blocks this way, 4 blocks this way, gives us 4 in this square. Now we can get this square here. Really? I don't know, you say. Yes, I tell you we can. Don't contradict me if you've never played the game before. Right, we've got 2 empty squares here, and we must know which 2 numbers fit there, right? We've got 1, 3, 4, 5. So, and 7, 8, 9. So what has to fit in these 2 squares is 2 and 6. We need 2 and 6 in these squares here. Now maybe we can say which is which. In fact we can, but imagine we can't say which is which. It might mean this is 2 and this is 6, or this is 6 and this is 2, but there are only 2 empty squares, and we have all the other numbers from 1 to 9. So if this is 2 and 6 here, this can't be 2 or 6, but we've got everything else in this block. So we know that's going to be an 8, because that's the only other number missing. Did you work that out? Did you understand that? Hopefully you did. 6 blocking down here, there's a 6. In fact, so we could get 6, and the 2 goes there. This 8 blocks across here, giving us an 8 in this square. And the last number to go here for this section, for this block down here, is 5. Now we can see what numbers are going to go here. We may be able to get them, we may not. I don't know yet. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have 5. We don't have 6. So we know that 5 and 6 go in these 2 squares here. Maybe 5, 6, or maybe 6, 5. Can we find out? Yes, we can, because we've got an intervening 6 up the top there. So we know 6 can't go in this square. So 6 has to be there. 5 has to be there. What's left in these 3 squares? We're looking for 2, 7, and 9. Can we say which is which? We've got 2 up here, so we know 2 is here or here. We don't have any 7s. We got 9 here, so we know 9s are there. So no, we cannot say which is 2, 7, or 9, but we know that those 3 squares are occupied by 2, 7, and 9, and we'll find out later which is which. In the meanwhile, we have to go somewhere else. 7 blocking up here and 7 blocking up here gives us 7 in that square. Now we've got 3 numbers missing from this column. Let's investigate and see what they are. We've got 1, 2, there's no 3. We've got 4, there's no 5. We've got 6, 7, there's no 8. So the missing numbers are 3, 5, and 8 in this in these 3 squares here. 3, 5, and 8. We've got a 3, we've got a 5, we don't have an 8. We don't have enough information. So we know this is 3, 5, and 8. We also know that these squares are not 3, 5, or 8. They have to be 1, 2, and 6. Does that help us? Yes, it does. We've got 6 blocking all the way up here, and we know that 6 has to be in this square. We know this is 2, 5, and 8. This has to be a 6 over here. If any of this is too fast, please rewind and watch the video again. That will do me some that will give me some help with this channel. And please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button as well. Right, now what are we missing up here? We don't, for this column, we don't yet have 2 or 4. So we know these two squares are 2 and 4. Can we say which is which? No, we can't, but we know what goes here because we know it can't be 2 or 4 because they're limited to those squares there. This has to be a 5. The missing numbers down here are 1 and 2, and now we can say 2 blocks across here. So we get our 2 here and a 1 finishes here. Right, I think we can't do much more on this right hand side, can we? We already looked at these 3 squares and didn't come up with anything. So we're going to have to shift our attention over to the left here. We've got 9 blocking down here and 9 going up here and 9 across there. So that means that's the digit 9. If you're wondering why I'm pausing for breath, is because I don't play any of these games ahead of time ever on this channel, and so whenever you see me play any games on here, you know that I'm just trying to find the answers the same as you, at the same time as you. I don't play the game ahead of time. Okay, we've got 6 across here and 6 up there. That's going to put 6 into that square. We've got 8 blocking up here, that puts 8 here, and now there's only 1 empty square for this block, and that needs us to put in a 7, so 7 across here, 7 across here. You see how we're using the number we just put in to help us. 7 there, 1 across this way and 1 across this way. That gives us 1 empty square, which is here. Now there's 1 empty square in this row. We look across and see that we need a 3. So this is 5 and 8, isn't it? Not sure we can get those yet. We'll leave that for now. Let's go somewhere else. Let's have a look up here. Something you can do, right? If you're playing on a computer, now you can't really do this if you're playing with a pencil and paper, but it does help if you're playing on a computer. It's not cheating, but you can click on each number in turn to highlight the digits and help you see things a bit easier. Like I say, if you're playing on pencil and paper, which I recommend when you begin, you don't have that option. You have to use your eyes a lot more. But I mean, this is not, it's not like you're not using your eyes. 3 blocking up here, 3 across here, 3 across here. It just makes it a lot easier to see things quickly. And since I'm in a hurry today, I've got to see things a bit more quickly. 3's blocking up and down here and 3 across there. Give me a 3 in that square there. What else do we know? Oh yeah, we've got 4 blocking this square, 4 blocking this square, 4 blocking this square, and 4 blocking this square in this row. Do you see that, how that works? No 4s allowed in any of these blue squares here, so 4 has to be there, and we know that I only need a 2 to finish this block here. I'm getting hungry. Got to have breakfast before I leave home, that's for sure. Okay, we have 1 blocking up here, 1 blocking up here, and 1 across there. By the way, if you're going through the numbers and you start with number 1 and go to number 2, etc., like that, if you place a digit, even 1 digit in your series of 1 to 9, you should start again, because you will find that things have changed. Where you couldn't get something before, well, you might be able to get something next time. There's our digit 1. So a moment ago I finished the 1s, what I could do, and then I placed a number, and so then I was able to get a 1 later on. 2, I'm not going to click on 3 because we've already got every digit 3 on the board. Every digit 1 is played and every digit 4 is played already. 3, sorry, is played already. 5 is going to work like this. Actually, didn't need that, just needed the 5s blocking up. That's going to give me a 5 here, then 5 across here, 5 across here, and 5 up there. Means that this is a 5. 5 down this way, 5 up that way gives me a 5 here, and 5 across here puts 5 into this square. Now we can just fill in the missing digit for here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have 8, but we do now. What was I doing? 6 blocks across here, 6 blocks across here. That gives me 6 in this square, 6 blocks down here and across there. That means that's a 6. 2 blocks across here, that puts 2 into this square, and 8 is our last number for this row and this block both. Of course, it's got to be the same number. 8 blocks up here and up here, that puts an 8 into this square here. 8 across here, across there, and up here puts 8 here. There's only one number missing now in this column. We don't have a 2. Let's fill it in now. I've forgotten what the missing numbers here are, but I think they are 7 and 9. Any help on 7 or 9? And I'm going to say, no, not yet. Okay, so we leave that. There are 2 numbers missing here. What's missing? 2 and 7. Again, no help there, so we'll leave that for now. Let's see what else we need to do. 2 blocks across here, so that will give me a 2 there. So in fact, we can get that. And now we know that's going to be a 7. And then the 7 will block down here. We know that's a 7. And this is our 9. 9 blocks up here and 9 blocks across here. That gives me 9 in that square there. And 1 number is needed for the top of this column, which is a 7. And 1 needed for this row or this block, which is 4. Don't forget, if it's too fast, go back, watch again. You can ask me a question in the comments if you've never played Sudoku before and you have questions. Please put questions in the comment section, or just say hi, I've never played before, because we don't get enough comments really on this channel to promote the channel at all. Thank you very much. Bye bye.